Hey there YouTube, Shapeworks here with another deck profile video for my deities for the March 31st format. But before I get into that, I do want to apologize for the last video that I uploaded because the audio was really bad. But as you can probably see or hear, the audio was fixed, I got it all better, and again I apologize for that. And in this video, unlike the last one, instead of rushing through it, I'm going to actually just take my time and explain combos and different tricks and different and reasons why I play certain techs in my deities, because it is kind of different than all the other deity decks that you see out there. And a lot of people may not agree with my tech choices, but hey, whatever, it's my deck, my build, I do whatever I want. And yeah, let's just get into it, because why not? Alright, come on, work. Alright, that's good enough. Alright, the usual three ofs, the three deity swirl slimes, one of the best cards in the deck. I would actually say it's the best card in the second best card in the deck, just because it starts all your combos. It's the thing that allows you to start all your plays, basically, because you use him and one other deity monster in your hand to fusion summon one deity fusion monster from your extra deck. Here's his counterpart. Deity Necro Slime does the exact same thing as Swirl Slime, except he fuses from grave. Plus you could use Swirl Slime here. His graveyard effect, you could banish him from the graveyard to summon one triple D monster from your hand. And best card in the deck, sorry, is Deity Lamia. She's the best card for all your synchro plays and all your big pushes and plays that this deck can make. Because she's a level 1 tuner. She can summon herself from the graveyard by sending one DD monster on your side of the field to the graveyard, or a Dark Contract from your field to the graveyard to summon herself from the graveyard, but she banishes herself when she leaves the field that way. But there's tons of ways that you can recycle her from the graveyard and keep summoning her to summon up to basically 3 synchros. The most I've gotten out of her when I've gotten my best hand was 4 synchros with just 1 Lamia. So yeah, the Lamia, triple Copernicus, trying to keep it all on screen. 3 Copernicus. When I first started playing Copernicus, I didn't really understand why people played 3 of it, but now I do understand, because it's pretty much a replacement for your Necro Slime. So it's either a replacement for your Necro Slime or your Lamia, or pretty much anything that you need in your graveyard at a certain given time. Plus he's also a scale 1 pendulum, so if you want to do a pendulum play, you could put him in the scale, because you want Oblivion King, Abyss, Ragnarok in your other scale. So you have the 3 Copernicus, 3 Kepler. It searches out your Dark Contracts, and if you want, you could use its other effect when it's normal summoned, which is you could return 1 Dark Contract or a DD monster on your side of the field and add it back to your hand. It's also a scale 10, good for pendulum plays. Best pendulum in the deck, I would say. Oblivion King, Abyss, Ragnarok. Just so many different plays work around Ragnarok here. Because if you place him in your scale and you summon, special summon another deity monster, you could summon one other deity monster in your graveyard and summon it to the field. But you do take 1,000, and for the rest of that turn, your opponent takes half the battle damage. When it's normal or special summon to the field, you get to summon one triple D monster from your graveyard and summon it to the field. And its other effect, yeah, this thing has like a bajillion different types of effects. But yeah, its other effect is you get to tribute one other deity monster on your side of the field to banish one monster your opponent controls. And I play two Sovereign Copernicus, Thomas. The reason why I play two and not three is because this card actually does break in your hand a lot, and it really does. Like, it's good when you draw into it. Like, I know when it's when you have a way to summon it to the field, or if you want to add something from your extra deck, face-up pendulum from your extra deck and add to your hand. But really, he's not really all that useful that much. He's only good for one rank 8 play. That's why I only play two of it, because I don't want to start with it in opening hand. I also play one DD Orthros, because with all the big backward decks that are going on right now, this card is going to help a lot, because it when it's in your pendulum scale, you get is it Dark Contract and yeah, you get to destroy one of your DD monsters or Dark Contract to destroy one Spawn Trap card on your opponent's side of the field. So it does get rid of one back row card or Floodgates or whatever. And because of the new ban list, I still play the one Max C, because why wouldn't you? It's still Max C. It's still really good. I honestly don't know why people would go two or none. That doesn't really make sense to me. So I play the one Max C still. And that's my monster lineup. For the spells, I play the 3 Dark Contract with the Gate. It searches out all your combo pieces for the deck, all your DD monsters. I play 2 Dark Contract with the Swamp King. I play 2 instead of 1 because I actually enjoy fusing with my cards. Plus, it also works as a backup. So if you don't have one of your slimes, you could use this instead, and it works just as well. And if you get both your slimes and this, you get to actually do a lot of wonky plays and push and throw a lot of monsters on board just because of the extra fusion summon. I play the 3. One second. Play the 3 Allure Darkness. Yeah, I play the 3 Allure Darkness, draw 2, banish 1 dark, and I actually don't mind banishing that one because most of the time you're going to have multiples of different monsters in your hand since you play 3 of a lot of different DD monsters. And for one of my favorite personal attacks to stop brick hands is double Ignite Reload. The reason why is because, like I previously said with Thomas, since it does break your hand, Thomas does break your hand a lot. This you could send Thomas back to the deck, draw 1 for Thomas, and draw 1 for itself. Since Ignite Reload says send any number of pendulum monsters from your hand back to the deck. Draw that same number of cards that you put back, and plus 1. So it replaces itself even, so it really helps to unbrick hands. And I also don't know why a lot of DD players play something like pot of not Generosity or whatever that pot card that is that banishes 10 cards, then draws 2. This, in my opinion, this is better than it in DDs. And for the one-off spells, I play 1 for 1 summons, useful for summoning your Lamia or your what the hell is it called? And your Kepler to get single play off or to search out a Dark Contract. Foolish Burial to send your Swirl Slimes, Raigeki, and Twin Twister. And for my trap lineup, I play Triple Strike and 1 Dark Contract with the Witch. The reason why I play this instead of Vanities is because obviously on the new ban list, Vanities is banned. So I added this instead because even though it isn't as good as Vanities, it's still really good to interrupt plays, kind of just like how Zodiac's interrupt plays just by using that or their one pop with their dragon. Okay, so that's the main deck. For the extra deck, I play 3 Flame King. I prefer to play 3 Flame King just because a lot of DD players only play 2 of it. I prefer to play 3 because the third kind of just comes out of nowhere and majority of the opponents that you'll face aren't really expecting the third one. So while you use the 2 Flame Kings to do your opening combo, you still have the third to kind of back everything up, since there is a really nice combo of the deck where you go Oblivion King, Abyss, Ragnarok in scale, Fusion Summon into the 3rd Flame King. Abyss King effect will summon back one of your DDDs. Its effect will activate summoning back another DDD, so now you have 3 monsters for the cost of summoning just 1 Flame King. So that's the reason why I play 3. I personally play 2 D-Arc just because I have been seeing a lot of chain burn and burn-based decks to counteract what's it called, Zodiacs. So to make this deck even have a better matchup against burn decks, I play the 2 D-Arcs. And if you don't know what D-Arc's effect is, it's whenever you're supposed to take effect damage, it gains your life instead. So just by summoning this, putting it in defense, and just keeping it there, it literally makes the chain burn player or the nurse player not be able to kill you at all because they can't get rid of it. And even if they do, you can just summon it back. But yeah, that's why I play 2. And the 1 Beowulf. Beowulf is good for your rank 8 plays. Excuse me. It's good for your rank 8 plays because it's easy to fuse into, because it takes 1 double D monster and 1 triple D monster. And its effects are it allows all your DD monsters to inflict piercing damage to your opponent, and every 1 year standby phases, it heavy storms the spell and trap guard zone. So if your opponent or you have a pendulum scale, its effect will not hit the scale. So it only hits the spell and trap. That's it for the fusions. For level 7 synchros, I play Clearwing Synchro, because invokes, or however you want to pronounce them, since they're obviously have levels since they're fusions, this could stop their effects, stops them from Book of Mooning your monsters with their fusion monster that can Book of Moon. I don't know their names quite well just yet. And yeah, he's just a really good level 7 to go into. I also play Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. The reason why I play Meteor Burst is because he summons one of your. When he synchro summon, you get to summon one of your monsters in your pendulum scale, and if you have Oblivion King Ragnarok in your scale, you synchro summon into him, summon Ragnarok, and then Ragnarok will get its summon to summon another monster. And if you have access to a Lamia, you get to summon Lamia and use this to go into Crystal Wing. So that's just a really good combo play right there to summon a lot of monsters in one go to summon even bigger monsters. And for the third level 7, I play the Gust King, which which is the main singer that you use to go into your Crystal Wing play. And for the level 8s that I play Crimson Blader. The reason why I play Crimson Blader is because there's a lot of decks that use level 5 or higher monsters. So if you summon this, okay, perfect example. Say like you're facing against what the hell? Mermail, yeah. And you're going second, you synchro summon into this, attack into one of their weaker monsters, and they won't be able to summon anything next turn. Because most of their best plays come from level 5 or higher monsters. It's also good against Invoke because of their fusions. It's also good. It's just good against majority of the meta right now. Anything that uses monsters that are level 5 or higher as their primary way to win, this hits it. And for second level 8, I play Deity Crusader King Siegfried. He's a staple in deities. And for my final level 8, the Crystal Wing. Alright, so that's all my synchros. And for the final exceeds, I play Constellar Panomas M7. This is supposed to be what was his name? 1 second. Gotta look it up real quick. Forgot his name. Number 24, whatever it's called. 24? Yeah. Number 24, Dracius, the Vampiric Dragon. Yeah, he's supposed to be him, but I just haven't gotten him yet. But as it stands right now, he's actually really good. For the main reason that you could by detaching one overlay unit, you get to target one monster in either player's graveyard or either player's field and send it back to the hand. So say like you have the 1 Maxi in your graveyard, you use its effect to add the Maxi back to your hand to recycle it, or you could interrupt your opponent's plays since it could be activated during either player's turn. I also play number 38, Hope Harbinger Titanic or Dragon Titanic Galaxy, and Duodon King Kali Yuga, which is going to be so useful in a format where one of the best decks is a 60-card trap deck, basically, which is Paleozoics, which is by far this deck's biggest threat, other than Zodiacs, but Zodiacs are kind of dying out because of Repetier being out too. So yeah, that's the extra deck. And oops, accidentally turned on my Xbox. And for the final bit, I play 3 Artifact Lancia just because. What the hell is it? Holy crap, I can't believe I forgot the deck's name. But yeah, I play 3 Lancia. I play 2 DD, or, 2 DDD Crow, because it's really good at interrupting plays, and now that Repetier is at 2, once they put out one of their Repetiers in the graveyard, just DD Crow, and it actually stops them because their deck is pretty much dead after that point. I also play 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Again, really good at interrupting plays, especially against Paleozoics and Invoke. How it stops Invoke is when they activate their field spell to search out one of their monsters. You just activate this, pop their field spell, and it stops them right there. How it stops Paleozoic is they would activate one of their toads, or what was it? I keep forgetting cards, but yeah, when they activate the toad that sends one of their frogs from deck to grave, you just activate this, and they can't recycle it back to their hand, which that is the card that starts most of their combos, or most of their totally awesome plays. Play the 2 more Twin Twister for those heavy back row decks. Play 2 My Body the Shields. My Body as a shield, because it stops Zodiacs. It also stops Paleozoics from popping your stuff and interrupting your plays with their traps. And if you run into a Kaiju deck, they activate Kaiju Slumber, you pay 15 and stop it. It just stops so many things, it's just so good. And here's another card that I just recently found out by playing Duel Book. Some guy used Fiend Griefing against me and actually stopped my plays earlier with it. And by rereading it, I found out you also send Fiend-type monster from the deck to the graveyard, so you're not just interrupting one of your opponent's plays, you also get to set up for one of your next plays for your next turn. So I think it's really good. And the thing that kills all back row decks, Dark Contract with Error. This card is basically a Royal Decree, but for deities, plus you can search it because it's a Dark Contract. And if you control a deity monster on your side of the field, it negates all other trap cards on the field other than itself. So I play the 3 Royal Decree and the Dark Contract with Error to stop those 60 card or less heavy trap decks. But there you go. That is my March 2017 DD deck. And sorry for the video taking so long. I just wanted to take my time by explaining the deck a little bit better than last time. And anyway, Shepbrooks out.